Lambs will ingest a variety of worms while grazing. Susceptible worms can be killed by a standard dose of wormer. Resistant worms will survive after a standard dose of wormer. Partially resistant worms will be killed if a correct amount of wormer is used, but will survive if the lamb is underdosed. Any worms left behind following treatment can impede the lamb's growth rate. When treated with an anthelmintic at the correct dose rate, susceptible and partially resistant worms will be removed, but any worms resistant to that wormer will remain inside the lamb. As only resistant worms are left in the lamb, resistant eggs will be spread onto the pasture. As the lamb continues to graze, it will pick up a mixture of worms from the pasture. Worms within the lamb will again become a mixture of resistant and susceptible. The lamb's growth rate will continue to be affected if a significant number of worms remain. Before dosing, weigh the lambs and calibrate the gun. The susceptible and partially resistant worms are removed, leaving just the worms resistant to that wormer. As before, the lamb picks up more worms from the pasture. The proportion of resistant worms inside the lamb continues to increase. So when the same wormer group is used repeatedly, the resistant worms remain in the lamb, negatively impacting its growth rates. If nothing is done about this, and you continue to use old wormer groups with proven resistance, the percentage of resistant worms will continue to increase. By using a break dose of a group 4 wormer in the mid to late season, it will remove the worms present within the lamb, including those left by previous treatments, in the lamb to reach its growth rate potential and leaving a far smaller percentage of resistant worms.